meaning, emergent. It's just beginning for them. So knowing how children develop and knowing the things that how children learn is a very important part, big part of how we introduce early math and early literacy. You do math every day and you do literacy every day. You do science every day, whether you know you're doing it or not. You find a rock on the playground or a stick, you're doing science. If you stop and talk about the size of the rock, the shape of the rock, is it smooth, is it rough? That's math. It's observation, that's science. We do so much in early childhood that we're not really aware of what we're doing. And until you become aware, you can't actually tell other people what you're doing and why your job is so critical. The gift that you've been given to be with these early learners is huge. So use your gift. How do you use estimated steps? You use the word estimate. There is a huge push for education. We have to get these little guys ready for school. They're going to be ready because they're going to grow up. They're not always going to be 2. They will eventually be 5. We're giving them the food they need at the age of 2. You don't give a 2-year-old a steak with a steak knife and some steak sauce. You don't do that. You give them what's appropriate for them at that age of 2. You do fun stuff that incorporates fractions at
to help us.
Yes.
Because we have them go through the process. I mean, we let them hold it like this and they're not in a controlled space. We go through all that. So when they're in that final stage.
When they're 7?
No, I mean when they're in our school and they're like getting ready to go to kindergarten. And should we not move them forward into the writing stage if they're not holding like this? Or is it okay to go ahead and let them hold it and go into the writing?
Yeah, if they are physically ready, so you will know they're physically ready by, remember earlier I made mention of if this muscle isn't strong enough, when they are tracing their name, you've dotted it out, highlighted it, they're tracing it, and you can't even see the lead on the paper, it's so light.
Yes.
That is telling you that this child is not developed yet to do that. Yes, encourage it. Yes, have them do this every day, even if you can't see the marks on the paper. Because one day it will just be there. And it may be 9 months and you don't see anything, and then all of a sudden one day they're just writing and they're pressing down, they have the appropriate, but they're practicing this correct way, this last stage of development, the tripod stage, and it's clicked in. Now, if they're 5 and they still prefer to hold a pencil like this, you need to move them out into this.
Okay.
If they hold it like this, the teachers that are correcting them, there are other things that they can be doing. Other than really worried about them holding a pencil. Because that's kind of like, there's just so much more to education than just holding a pencil.
Sure. But we don't want them, like when they go to elementary, you don't want them to be constantly ridiculed, which happens, or got onto
Who ridicules teachers?
the teachers.
Those teachers need to be fired, in my opinion.
Exactly. But they won't be fired.
You have 27 first graders. They're all going to be holding their pencil a different way.
Yes.
The teacher is going to hold her pencil. So you're saying, because you're the teacher and you went to college and you have a piece of paper saying you're a teacher, you can only hold your pencil this way. That's what you're saying. Raising people to write, hold pencils correctly.
Yeah.
Teachers are in raising learners, problem solving, social skills.
Yeah.
If you're teaching them just how this, what is wrong with you? Can't you hold this pencil correctly? I've showed you a million times. love to hear that from any adult in your life. Come on, I know some of you would. Some of you really like that. No. The problem is your gap between you and them. And if they're coming back and scolding you for doing what developmentally is correct for the children you have at the time, and if you have 5-year-olds, developmentally correct, let's go ahead and get into this. Doesn't mean they're all going to do this.
And that's okay.
And it's okay. The teacher comes in and says, I really wish you would teach them to hold that pencil correctly. I would just say right back, I really wish you would teach them other things other than writing with the pencil correctly. You're saying exactly, good point. You're saying it exactly the way that that teacher said. And you know what? Sometimes blunt has to be blunt. Because I'm doing my job correctly. I am a professional early childhood educator. I know my stuff. If you don't know your stuff, read a book. Why is there in a group that can't push them out?
ABC, cha-cha-cha. ABC, cha-cha-cha. ABC, cha-cha-cha. Do it with me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y,